Hello, welcome back to Trailer Trash. You know what I haven't done yet? I'll save it for the end this time. But we're gonna do another action movie? Question mark. Could be anything. It could be about sharks again. No, this one's called The Long Walk. Let's check it out.
I'm Ray Garrity. You can call me Ray.
Prima Breeze.
Hank Olson's the name. Walking's my game.
We did the very first long walk years ago to inspire everyday people.
Smile, boys. You're on candid camera.
Man, you gotta not think about the things out of your control. Think about your plan.
Personally, I can't stop.
I'm already having a hard enough time pinpointing the time we're in, especially when someone makes a candid camera reference. Does anybody even know what that is anymore?
Thinking about all that money.
You'll never find another one. I'm the last of my kind.
Okay, just keep walking. That's right. Just keep walking. Yeah, that's it, kid. That's it.
Second warning. Third warning.
It takes heavy sack to sign up for this contest. I'm not gonna go through the whole rule book, but it boils down to this. If you fall below the speed of 3 miles per hour, you get your ticket.
Okay. You got my attention. Especially, they mention Hunger Games, which, yeah, it's not so much the aspect of this game they're playing or whatever, but the why of it, right? Like, why do people do this? Why did they sign up and take this risk? Like, that's wild, huh?
Walk until there's only one of you left. Who's ready to win?
Also, is that Mark Hamill? Hold up.
Who's ready to win?
That's Mark Hamill, isn't it? I recognize that voice anywhere.
Yeah, it took me a while to realize the truth of this. This is walk or die.
Warning. You'll walk as long as you can.
Warning.
But sometimes the body won't listen.
Warning.
For some, your heart will stop.
Warning.
For others, your brain.
Warning.
And the blood will flow suddenly.
Warning.
Yeah, and there's this whole like weird post-apocalyptic kind of thing going on too. There's just so many mysteries building up. It's great.
There's one winner. And no finish line.
Yeah, I like that. Well, good on you, Stephen King. You're not a complete hack anymore. You got it back, man. You can maybe write them still. Let's check out the comments. Top comment: this was the first Stephen King story I ever read. I will never forget being so riveted on the school bus home that the driver had to tell me we were at my stop. Oh, okay, so this isn't just like a current day Stephen King wrote a thing, like penned a script for something. This is an actual one of his stories. That's crazy, huh? It's so weird because it's like, how did nobody recognize this as potentially good, especially after something like the Hunger Games makes it big. Squid Games, even, like, no one stopped and was like, oh, hey, we already got this story. It's this. Let's make this. Never thought I'd see this come true. Wow, one of King's greatest and darkest books ever. I don't know. Darkest? There's some pretty fucked up books by Stephen King. I mean, best adaptation of a story to film? Maybe. I mean, Grant, I've discussed this before with Stephen King, and unless it was Kubrick doing The Shining, which apparently had very little to do with the book, which is probably why it's a good movie. And Stand By Me, which again was kind of separated itself from the Stephen King novel in a sense, like the title and everything was different at the very least. Yeah, it's not a good track record for King film. Well, Misery's good. And I will say, I will stand by It, the original television release. That was pretty solid. Campy as hell, but it hit a sweet spot when you were a kid, you know? Like, it's not super gory, super violent. The subject matter was dark, and it had a creepy clown. Like, as a kid, that was enough, you know. That was it. That was the spooky shit. You either watch Goosebumps or you watch fucking It for television. Damn it, ... Anyone who read the book knows the situation, but for those who haven't, this trailer completely destroys the shock of having the first Walker gunned down. They just gave it away for free. I mentioned this before, and it's like, no, not really, because why is the world so shit? Allegedly, I guess it's not, you know, there's a dead cow on the road. That doesn't necessarily mean the end of the world. But why does it seem so desolate and, you know, everywhere seems run down? Why is there this situation where people have to volunteer to walk until they either die or become the last person walking? Right? There's still so much mystery that has been left unsaid, even if you don't show. Because again, how do you make a trailer that would be engaging if you don't show that there's some risk, some death? You know, you don't stop walking. They go over the rules, you know, like, what are we going to be like? Oh, what happens if you don't stop walking? Oh, you just get shot. Well, you can't build a mystery around that, because for one, it probably happens more or less early in the film to establish that the risk, the tension, the danger of it all. So what's the point of hiding it from the trailer? And again, I feel like that's the least of everything that's happening in the background of this world. King wrote this in 1979 under the pseudonym of Richard Bachman. It's a novella with the book The Bachman Books. Which also featured The Running Man. The Long Walk is my favorite of King fans, myself included. Oh, is a favorite of King fans, myself included. Very good novella. As a side story, the Bachman Books once featured 4 novellas, but now only features 3. King ordered the story Rage to be removed, as it centered around a high school kid who goes on a shooting spree. When school shootings began to be more common, King was afraid Rage would encourage these mass murders, and so forced it to be removed. Wait a second. Wait a second. Now, technically it's not a school shooting, but King did write a short story about a child growing up in the 50s or 60s of America who turns into a Nazi sympathizer who hates Jewish people and homeless people, and the story ends, spoilers, with him gunning down a whole highway full of bystanders. Just saying. Why wasn't that book removed, huh, King? Huh? And for clarity, I think I mentioned this before. The Four Seasons book that was like a collection of 4 short stories he was writing. Shawshank Redemption, which became a movie. I forgot about that one. That was an okay movie. The Body, which became Stand By Me. One about, and that one actually the last one in it kind of fascinated me, because it was about this old guy who joins this book club, or the Storytellers Club in like New York, where he goes to this apartment, and all these well-to-dos and people of various different backgrounds all gather and tell stories. And one of the stories that's told is about some doctor who was helping a woman through her pregnancy. She ends up getting decapitated in a car accident, and while laying there headless delivers the baby, and he helps deliver the baby of a decapitated woman or something like that. It was weird, but also it was cool because this whole like society, this apartment he goes to, there's sort of this weird description of like how it's from another world. Like the guy who runs it, who hosts this thing, is like this enigma, and his apartment is huge. It's kind of like the Shining Hotel. It's huge and doesn't make sense, and people, disappear and, come back hours later. And it's like this whole place is like in its own dimension and time sort of idea. I don't know if that was what I was supposed to get from the story, but that's what I got from it, and that more so than the actual story being told. Like, I was like, where are we going with this, King? I'm fascinated by that. But then, yeah, the last one is in the 50s, 60s, some kid, I guess it'd be 60s, 70s-ish, some kid discovers, he's fascinated with the history of the Nazis and the Holocaust, and discovers that Nazis in hiding in the U.S. in his neighborhood. And the kid's kind of a piece of shit, obviously, and so he like blackmails this guy. He's like, I know who you are, and I will report you. And the guy's like, what do you want? And he's like, tell me about it. Like, I want to know everything. And the kid's just like this sadomasochist and goes on and kills homeless people. I think even the Nazi, the ex-Nazi guy, also starts killing people. It's a weird story, but yeah, it's funny how, Shawshank Redemption, Stand By Me, you got your movie adaptations. Those other two, no, not nearly as interesting, I guess. Not The Long Walk. Yeah, The Long Walk, that's what it's called. So, yeah. Also, I was gonna finish it last weekend, but I actually have absolutely no time in my life now. But Notre Dame is it's very heavy. Haven't put the roof on yet, but yeah, I got the windows though. The windows are sweet. I like these windows. There's one in the front. It's pretty cool. It's not focusing on it though. Yeah, I don't think the roof is modular though, so you'd really have to. I mean, unless this whole section comes off, you're not going to be able to see the inside. Because one of the things, well, I guess you can kind of see through the doors, but yeah, there's windows, but they're like shaded, kind of like grayish and black, so you can't really see through the windows, but you can kind of see through the doors. It's not going to focus though. Anyway, that's a piece fell off at the very bottom. Look at this thing. This thing down, this is doing all the work. This bottom part, it's insane. Never built a Lego set so huge. It's great. And I still got to put the trees in and where Quasimodo lives and all that shit. But yeah, it's Notre Dame and The Long Walk. Thanks for watching.